morning.
Good morning. Day 7. Here we go. I was bad yesterday. Bad. Which means I just gotta be good today. I think I do need to do a diet change. I have done no dieting whatsoever since I started this. In fact, I think I have gotten worse since I started this. Maybe just because of the time of the year. You know. Work has been buying lunches like almost all week. And then yesterday I did a happy hour. And I ate after. So bad. But sometimes you just need to treat yourself. But sometimes I think I need to have a come to Jesus. It's just like, I treat myself a lot. How much do I need to treat myself? And can I resist? I think that's my biggest problem. Is that, like, if there is the option, I just, like, lose my damn mind. The problem with, like, being addicted to food is, like, you have to still eat. It's like if you were an alcoholic or addicted to heroin, but you still had to do, like, just a little heroin or just a little coke or drink one shot a day or something. And they're like, come on, moderation is everything. It's like, fuck you. I want to do this whole pile. This whole pile of heroin. I don't know. Oh, yeah. When I smell food, I want to eat the nastiest thing until my stomach extends from my body. Not when I'm full. I do try to tell myself, okay, I'm full, stop. Sometimes that works. Most often, it doesn't work. It's a sickness. I don't know. Like, I know working in restaurants and bakeries and stuff, and like, I know they throw out like an absolute metric ton of food all the time. And I know some places still donate to food banks and whatever. And a lot of that stuff gets thrown out too, which is really sad. But there's like a sickness in my head that feels some obligation to finish everything that's given to me. Like something I never really realized, but since I've been seeing my wife, since we started dating, as she'll like, I'm done. I'm going to take the rest of this home. And I'm like, unless it's like a really shit ton of food. And I'm like, yeah, I'll do the same. Most often than not, I'll finish my food. I try. But very few times that I try do I actually do. And not just house the rest of the thing that I'm eating. And you know, I always like I always complain about American portions. And I love Japan for like having like actual like reasonable amounts of food. But who's to say I wouldn't just get like another thing? My fat brain figures out ways to stay fat. And I don't know how. I guess it's always been a problem. I feel like it's like another thing that like the few times in my life I have dieted and it's worked, I went like hardcore shutdown, like just chicken and rice. Or one time I saw the movie Sick and Dying, and I feel like that's just a big ad for juicers and this guy's lean mean green juice or whatever. I mean, interesting. It worked for him. He changed his life. But I feel like also that it just doesn't work for everybody. And as soon as I stopped drinking the juice, weight put on again. It's because, like, I hate all these things that are, like, just huge tortures. And then as soon as you stop doing them, it's like the scene in The Whale where he's like really sad and he's just gorging in the fridge. So that's one of the reasons I never wanted to like do that extreme of a diet again, because it was like I was depriving myself of everything. And then I'm like, what? My I don't know, I'll call them like fat lies. The fat lies I tell myself are like, well, am I never going to drink a pop again? Am I never going to eat Taco Bell again? No. So I need to make lifestyle changes, which is like the right answer, but it's also, I use it as an excuse to just not diet. It's like, why diet unless I'm going to make a lifestyle change? And then I just eat the Taco Bell and drink the Baja Blast. Or eat the pizza. Or I see the healthier option on the menu. And I go for the fat option still. And I get in periods of like cooking where I'll make, I feel like making stuff, even if it is unhealthy, like it's better than eating out all the time. But I got fat brain with that too. If you oil and salt up anything, you can make it not healthy. The last time I had a trainer, I go, I know I'm fat as shit. I don't care. I don't want to lose weight. Cardio is the thing I hate the most, and it's the thing that makes me stop exercising. So I just want to get ripped as hell. And I was like, let's just do weights. Let's just do lifts and stuff. And let's see what happens. And my arms got pretty big. My legs got pretty strong. But I did like stagnate. And maybe I lost like 10 or 15 pounds from when I started. But then I hardcore plateaued. But in terms of numbers, my weights were going up. I was lifting heavy and heavy all the time. I had my personal record on the leg press. 1,270 pounds. No shit. I wish I don't know. I don't think I'll ever get back up to that because my knees started like being weird, and I got scared that I was gonna have to blow out my knee or something. But at that time, when I did that, and it wasn't 1 rep max, I did 3 sets of 12 at that weight. I felt like I could have done more, and that's kind of scary to me, because 1,270 pounds on like a standard sled, leg press sled, is like every weight you could possibly put on there to the max of that, those like pegs, without like stacking shit very weirdly. And I thought of like, another thing that spooked me too was like seeing Ronnie Coleman, Mr. Universe, was like using a walker because he fucked up his legs because he did so much weight. And I was like, I don't want to get the quest for a bigger number and then end up crippling myself. And like to get to that point, I was already obsessed with that number. Like, you know, everything else I was making very marginal improvements. But my legs had like, it seemed like infinite capabilities to lift. That's why I was like, well, I didn't say we had to stop, but you know, I was doing like mornings, I think, and my trainer was like, we have to change hours maybe. Or I was getting like yelled at for, you know, I think I was doing lunches. And I think I was like, you know, because when you do an hour, it's not really an hour. Because the training session's like an hour. But then you got to get there a little early, so that's like 15 minutes. And then you got to shower and get back to work. It's like another 15 minutes, so it's like really like 90 minutes. And I just didn't have the time. Like, I wanted to do other things. And I was like, I can't bring a stinky pile of clothes everywhere. Another benefit of working out at home. Stinky clothes go right in the dirty clothes bin. I don't have to worry about smelling through the internet. Although, I sure do look greasy and stinky. But I'm not really offending anyone. And then I get to take a shower right after this and then go into work, which is something I do normally. My normal routine is shower, go to work, scream at traffic. I feel like I've been incrementing the days one by one, so I don't know how I fucked it up. But is it a whole week? I feel like I started on like, no, I guess I had to be like a Wednesday or Thursday because it was when Ellen went to like Derby. I can't believe it's been a week already. This is hard. I feel like week 2 is the hardest though. I had all the motivation. I had all the fire in my belly this week. Did I just burn through it all? I don't know. Am I going to be able to keep up 7 days next week? Maybe. Maybe not. Am I going to be able to keep up 7 days a week in a couple months? Most likely not. I'll probably find the days that work best for me. I'd like to. I'd like to keep going. and have a day I miss be the exception and not the norm. Because again, what is the excuse? I can't hop on a bike. That's right. It's like literally there's a fork in the road. There's like my bedroom. There's the spare bedroom here where all this is set up. And then there's my bathroom. And like, if I go to my bathroom first, I'm not working out that day. But if I go to this room first, I'm hopping on this bike and I'm turning on this camera. And I'm finishing the hour. Even if nobody's watching. Which I know there's going to be days like this. And you know what? Hey, I had a challenge to myself yesterday to be like, man, I'm so tired. It was very challenging to like even come in here. Today, I don't have like the same anxieties about work, so it was much easier to come in here. I was right. When you're dreading something, like, it just makes everything a little bit harder. But it was fine. It went fine. I was just doing my head. Again, I get that cynical bastard mindset. And sometimes it just makes worse things worse. And moderately okay things worse. I don't know. The more you spend like worrying about something, like, the more that thing negatively impacts your life. Like if you just don't think about it and like, okay, now I have to do this. Boom. Then the thing happens. Once something becomes a habit, it gets much easier. Damn right, Hubble. Good morning. I think a problem I see, I consider myself an expert in getting started in a workout habit, despite being fat as shit. I think a lot of people who have never worked out before, like I've done sports and stuff, I've had like coaches, I've been in good routines before. I feel like something that gasses people a lot is going really hard, doing so heavy weights, week one, running 10 miles after you've never done anything. You've just been sitting on the couch. You saw like something. You saw a movie that inspired you. You want to shed like 10 pounds instantly. And then you get like this, like where I'm still mid 280s. And I gained a pound from yesterday. And you go, what the fuck? I'm trying so hard. And I'm not getting the one number I did, but you're getting healthier. You're just like chasing one number and like putting so much effort into something, like expecting like an overnight result. But no, it's just got to be a habit. I'm hoping these series of videos is kind of like a documentary, maybe for what I have to do, maybe for like the journey as a whole, from someone who's fat as shit to hopefully a somewhat more reasonable, healthy weight. I would love to not be morbidly obese. I hate that number, the percent or whatever that determines if you're morbidly obese, because I feel like that makes every power lifter like morbidly obese, or bodybuilders morbidly obese. I don't know. Maybe not, but I don't like it. And maybe because it says like I have 40% body fat or whatever. And I hate myself for that. And I hate a number that is insulting me. But also, I just don't think it's a good metric. But then again, maybe they're right. Maybe there's a warning sign. And maybe I do got to get that number lower. Another number. They're like, hey, we know you cry when you see the scale that you hop on every night. Why don't we pinch you with a bunch of things and give you another number to be said about, and tell you that you're officially morbidly obese? It's like, thank you, doctor. That's another thing I would like to ease up. Every time you go to the doctor or anywhere, like you say anything about being sick or something, and maybe just reflex, but people are like, maybe you should lose some weight. Like they don't maybe outright say that, or they do, or they hint at it, and you're like, ugh, I know. And you get so disappointed in yourself, but you're not frustrated at them. You're frustrated at yourself, and you're like, God damn it, I would love to snap my fingers and be Mr. Universe walking around, or even just average Joe with like a slight gut, but like maybe like but definitely not over 100 pounds to lose. And if you have ever hiked, like that's another wake-up call, I feel like, as you put a bunch of gear into a backpack and like kind of weigh it out, especially if you're going on a long hike. And you're like, oh my God, this is like 30 or 40 pounds. And like even shedding like 10 pounds is like so much easier to carry around every day. And then I look at my own fat body and it's like, that's like 100 extra pounds I'm carrying around all the time. I wish I could just take it off and set it down. Just see what it's like to walk on air. Just walk without the weight. Maybe this stream will turn into like a giant underwater treadmill. Like my favorite, me and my wife's favorite. Oh no, it's squeaking. Okay, it's good, it's good. I gotta oil this bitch up. That'll be a chore for tomorrow. I'll hop on a treadmill like Mr. Kitty, my favorite fitness influencer, which is something I stole from my wife. Okay, it stopped. I thought that was going to drive me nuts. The bike just squeaking the hell out of. But hey, I've been using it. Means I got to maintain it. It's just like a real bike. Grease up the chains. I'll look up something. Oh God, it's squeaking. That's annoying as hell. Hopefully it's not coming through the audio. But I'll try to figure that out tonight. Oh no! Oh no! Well, I can stop the squeaking. So I can ban a spam bot. Thank you. Eat my shit. Spam bot. All right, where are we at? 23. Ooh. Ooh. That one I'll blame on the spam bot. I didn't stop because I was tired. I stopped because I saw the spam bot. Plant-based diet. Oh, that's not bad. Oh. Worth a shot. My wife used to be vegan, which is like hard mode vegetarian. So in addition, like she didn't drink milk and stuff, or eat eggs. Eggs I always feel like the one thing she cheated on, but she was pretty good about everything else. I like to do that. If not for the health reasons, just for the fact that it's like, okay, I would like to eat a meal where several animals didn't have to die for this. We were talking about this at work lunch yesterday. But it's like, if you ever thought about eating chicken wings, you're like, these are the legs and arms of like many chickens. Like for every wing you have, that's someone's limb from a different chicken, like, or every two, I mean, do the math that makes you feel the best sleeping still gets in your head. You're like, oh my god. Can you imagine in medieval times or on like Game of Thrones if you're like, give me 20 chicken wings and you just like had to watch the butcher lop off the heads of 10 chickens and you go, that's all for me. It's like, holy shit. It doesn't get into my head enough to stop eating it entirely, but definitely makes me want to be like, okay, maybe I can go like days without, killing something. And I also know it's like with all the oils and shit that's in everything, maybe that's not, but hey, and healthier, yeah, making the healthier choices, forcing yourself. And you can eat bad, eating plant-based stuff, but it's not as bad. It's definitely not healthy, especially these like burgers that taste like burgers. I remember I thought that was crazy. I feel like the first Impossible Burger I had that like really fooled me was the, Burger King Whopper. It was because Ellen was vegan at the time. I think we tried it, and I think there's mayo on it. So not super vegan, but you know, you could slip once in a while as long as you keep it as your main habit. Anyway, getting distracted. But I remember being like, I think they fucked up and just gave you a regular burger. And that's like the first like plant-based thing that's ever happened for in my entire life. Because us fat people, we know we've had the veggie burger before. We've tried it. I'm gonna eat this veggie burger instead of real burgers. And then you eat that veggie burger one bite and you're like, this is worse than poison. Not only am I not enjoying it, I'm actively about to vomit. I hate this thing. I'll never make these again. And then the 5 extra patties get freezer burned until you throw them out. Many years later. Oh, God. Sprint time. Maybe this will fix it. Oh, my God. I don't even know what is squeaking. I don't want to end the stream early, but this is really close to... Oh, my God. What can I do instead? Like jumping jacks or something? Just some weightlifting. I got like slow. Alright. I don't think it's the pedals. Maybe it's the arms? Maybe if I like grab on. Nah, I think it's just the wheel. Anyway. Skip rope is very good aerobatic. Yeah, skip rope I used to do during kickboxing. Man, skip rope is hard. It's one of those things that looks very easy. But if you've tried to skip rope for like 2 minutes in a row, or even like 30 seconds, you're like, holy shit, this is hard. Even if you're not going that fast. You're like just constantly moving. But yeah, that's a good thing to try. I don't know how I do a skip rope in this room. I don't think there's enough room. I think I'd hit the tit lamp. I think I'd knock everything off the walls. Maybe in the summer months I can like set up in the garage or something and have the space. I don't know. I'll keep going. I just gotta not think about it. I can see it like spiking on the sound level, so I know people can hear that. But like I know WD-40 is actually not that good because it makes everything like dustier and gunks it up. But I might get a can of WD-40 and squirt this bitch. Maybe right now. Nah, I don't have enough time. I don't want to be fucking around with this for too long. But definitely later today, when I get home from work, I'm oiling the hell out of this bitch. I do have a jump rope, so maybe I'll put it in this room and try to find a way to feng shui everything. Thank you, Hubble, for the tips, too. I appreciate you watching, keeping me motivated, giving advice. You and Bulkster, and anyone who comes and watches in the mornings here. It helps for sure. Even just to have one person say anything. I feel like it's coming where there's going to be streams with like absolutely no one. But so far that hasn't been the case. It's been nice. And something I don't really appreciate is like just seeing the sun come up. It was pitch black when I woke up at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And now I get to see like that gradient. The sun's not peeking over the horizon yet, but I'll get to see that. Seeing a good sunrise lifts your spirits a lot. I feel like I haven't been waking up any earlier for weeks. I just haven't been noticing. So you just gotta appreciate life sometimes. The stuff that's all around you, that you get in the grind and ignore. Like I dream of owning like a lake house or something on the water. Probably a lake house, because I wouldn't want to live on the ocean. Climate change. Anyway, don't buy oceanfront property. But my worry with buying a lake house or something is you wake up to it every day and you just ignore the lake house. And do you appreciate it more if you see it every morning? Does it tarnish? Because right now, like in the summer when I go up to the Upper Peninsula and I go to rural areas and stuff, and you go to the big lake for the first time after a long winter, there's like so much joy. Do you get that much joy out of it if you see it all the time? It's like covered in snow and then you just have to maintain it and bullshit. I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe that's just a lie I tell myself, though, to not pay the exorbitant fees to live at a lake house. and be right off the water. I feel like already you can save tons of money by just being the other house on the side of that road. You're not facing the water, but it's like a 0-minute walk to the beach or the lake or a dock or something. Maybe as part of these streams, I'll do a food blog. I'll start right now. Yesterday was bad. I ate like a banana and like an oatmeal bar. That's bad. Banana has a lot of calories too, I guess. If you eat bananas all the time, you could really rack up some calories. Anyway, that's not really the bad part. Then I had shawarmas with fries in them, and fries, and garlic and hummus for lunch. And I was like, I only need to eat half of this to be full. And I ate the whole thing. I ate the whole. It was like a massive wrap. I don't know. I feel like that's like a recent change. I feel like they're trying to this place in Detroit called Bucharest. I don't know if they were always like that, or if they're trying to like mirror Chipotle burritos, where like a wrap is a meal. But I was expecting just like a cheap sandwich, and I got this very dense pita filled with chicken and fries. Anyway, that's not even the end of the bad. I had like 3 beers at happy hour, 2 at one place, 1 at another. Pints. So that's, I think, over 40 ounces total. Wait, 16, 16, 16, or wait. Yeah, I don't know. 12, 12, 12. 36 maybe? I don't know. Too much. Over the course of the night. So 3 beers ain't too bad. But calorie-wise, it's bad. And I had a chopped wedge salad. Which, you know, you went for the salad. Good for you, fatty. You didn't go for the bangers and mash or whatever. But it's covered in bacon and dressing. It's probably comparable in calories in the end. I did force myself to eat all the tomatoes, but again, it's like, what is that doing? I already ate horribly throughout the day, so I can't pat myself on the back for eating tomatoes. So that is my food blog. Maybe I'll like put it in the description or something. My shame food log of what I ate before. I'll add them to the descriptions of the YouTube video for the day before. Because right now, when I'm on the bike, is when I remember what I ate. It's like solidified in my mind. I know what I ate. I could say, oh, I don't remember, but I remember. Especially when it's bad, I remember. And I also get in the bad habit of like eating one big meal. I know it's better to eat smaller meals throughout the day, but time, you know, making it a priority. And if I like my fridge is empty or something, I feel the overwhelming pressure. So I gotta like, and another time thing, I just gotta go shopping regularly, keep things stocked up. Don't get the temptation to order out or go ham on a company lunch. And another temptation. It's a great benefit, but really bad for me is my company buys us lunch every Tuesday and every other Thursday. I like that's like the startup life. Is they know how to treat you well, but damn, you get lost. And they kind of have healthier options. It's not always bullshit. Like sometimes it's like, you know, Indian food or Mediterranean food, and it's not always the most insane, unhealthy stuff, but there's always a lot of it, and I don't know how to portion it out, or just eat the good stuff. Like just eat the vegetable stuff that we get for, you know, dietary concerns for people who are vegetarian or vegan. And I'll always get the meat stuff and just load it up, and then go back to sitting on my throne, staring at code all day, hardly moving, just doing this, occasionally getting up to waddle to the bathroom. And I'll do a plant health check. There's a bunch of plants in here. Low maintenance, guys. And the reason we put them in this window is because it gets a ton of sun. And nowhere else in my house does it get a ton of sun. But they're all, like, there's no air plants in this room right now, but these are all, like an aloe, a snake plant. I think that might be a money tree. Shrek ears. I forget what this thing is. But that thing that looks like it's not doing healthy. This guy right here. Needs like it. Maybe he needs a lot more loving. Maybe I need to water him. Maybe I need to move him close to the window and give him some water. I'll do that right now, actually. Oh, take a little bit of a break. Help save the plants. All right, money tree, you look like you're doing fine. This guy, his days might be numbered, but you gotta try. One for me, one for Mr. Voodoo Lily or something. I don't know what it's called. I'll have to ask Alan. She'll be know. She's very good about it. All right, let's see what happens. Can we bring it back, or is it on the brink of death? I don't know. It's still got some life in it, looks like. But, you know, I've never seen the leaves at the end kind of change color like that. We'll do a plant report, too. Not only checking in my health, but check on the plant health. Everything else is green as hell, so I think we're doing good. Aloe has a few limpy dying stuff, but I think for the most part, in pretty good shape. The squeak, back in my mind. I was able to talk through it and forget about it, but now it's back on my mind. Can't forget. Fix that squeak. I wish with hearing you were able to like pinpoint, like, boom, echolocate, like, boom. That's the thing that's squeaking. Yeah, being a homeowner, like, what's making noise that I don't like, or Like sometimes you can see something, but often you can hear it before you can see it. Like with pipes and stuff not kicking on right. Or running water. That's the worst fucking noise. I have PTSD from like a toilet saga of like the toilet filling back up just forever. And I used to work with somebody who they had a horror story of they had a toilet running in their basement. But it was their first house and they're kind of like, you know, lazy with it. They didn't check on it. Until they got their water bill. They got their water bill. It was like $5,000 from. And he's like, clearly this is a mistake. But that toilet was constantly running water and just dumping it straight out. So it wasn't a mistake. And the water company's like, you have to pay this. You used it. And so he had to work out like a payment plan. And my water bill's always been okay, you know. But yo, these are the things you don't think of until you own a house. And so now I've passed that PTSD onto you. You have running water. And it's in your house. Or even like when people go to a public place, you ever go to like a nasty bathroom and the faucet's just running or leaking at a pretty fast rate and it's got the like the water stain on there. It's like, I'm sure that is costing somebody a decent chunk of change. And they're not going to do anything about it. Or roof stuff. The theater where we go, two of the places, because they have like the main building, they have a black box, and then they have like an extra space. And the extra space in the main theater, we're leaking water. The main one was leaking water like directly onto a chair. And so people would just be like, why is this square chair squishy? It's like, oh, come on. How do you not know? But I guess the water like had evaporated, and so it was just like, over time, it grew like the weird water stain. And I think there was a show during like a storm or whatever. And you like literally saw the water come down. So it always starts slow, but then exponentially gets worse. And then you know, what could you do? The solution was a bucket for like a little while. Until you could get someone to get up there and fix it. And instead of that chair being like out of the rotation and like water stained or like anyone attempted to clean it up, and it probably having some mold or something in it, being it's just the chair no one wants to sit in. If you know, you know. If you don't, then you're like, why does something stink? And you've been sitting on a old moldy water stained chair. Ellen's got a roller derby match this Saturday. That'll be exciting. And then, you know, I'm going out to dinner Sunday. We have some friends that we like to do dinner and movie dates. And we're going to this like sushi place. So we'll see. Can I control it? No. Am I gonna get a cocktail, and go ham on the sushi, yeah. Because I know that the time is going to fly by and it's going to be July and I will not have returned out to society until then. I'm too much of a mole person sometimes, so. But then again, I have also been really bad this week. This is the first week I'm doing this. I've been really bad. So I'll have proof to myself, or proof the other way, where it is like, man, not as much time as you think passes before you go lose control. And like now I have like a definitive actual vlog of things. That's always something I've heard trainers and doctors tell me, yeah, just keep a food log. I've never done it. Maybe for like a couple days or something. But this, I could talk about it, and then there's some kind of log about it. Much easier to just, today is, I ate. Alright, at least gotta keep it above a 2. And hey, the squeaking kind of went away. Now it's making a lot of other noises, but I gotta get some art to hang in this room too. I want to paint the room. I'm trying to figure out a room color that would make this pop out more. If you have suggestions, I don't know what I would color it. My hallway is like a midnight blue kind of thing. My bedroom's brown, which I thought would feel more like a den like, but it just is boring, kind of. My living room's like forest green, which I don't mind, I guess. But it's like too close to like booger green. I would definitely change that to something else too. My kitchen's like a baby blue, which I like. Kitchen and hallway, baby blue, and like it makes the hallway super dark. But I like it. I don't know. It feels like you're walking. When do you go to bed, like, or when you wake up from bed, dawn and dusk. It feels like you're kind of like walking into the night or walking out the night. I don't know. I like it. I like that it's super dark. Maybe my bedroom should be like pitch black, because I already have like the blackout shades. Because sometimes you gotta sleep during the day. Can't do that if there's sun peering through any crack in the window. But it does like fuck with your sense of time sometimes, especially if I'm like sleeping bad. It's also like I don't want the neighbors peering in on my bedroom. Me and some friends I do comedy with are like, the people we do the Poker Nights videos with, like our sketch comedy group. Bruce McCullough is doing like a workshop that's like specifically that, and we all signed up as a group, and we're hoping that like nobody else signed up. We get kind of like a private session from Bruce McCullough from Kids in the Hall. At the same time, I took a workshop from Kevin McDowell from Kids in the Hall. Like a writing workshop. I don't know if I got too much out of it. It was just like, I just really want to meet Kevin McDowell. It's almost just like splurging that money for to pay for a VIP pass to like hang out with him for as much time as possible. But you know, kind of an influential group. And Tony shared like a podcast of like, you know, staying motivated to do creative stuff. Uh, and I think the guy, I don't know, I'm too logical, so the guy I think was trying to come up with like a limerick or something. And he was talking about like you know, they drop a wine cork bottle cork on a steel beam and it doesn't move at all. But you keep dropping corks on that beam and eventually that beam starts to swing. And that's like, he was trying to relate that to like, hey, you know, keep going. These small changes can lead to bigger things. You know, it's as long as you persist. I feel like that's missing a piece of the puzzle. I think a lot of people do persist. There is, I don't want to blow it up, but there's a local filmmaker that's like Neil Breen level, not quite as entertaining, but she makes a lot of movies. And she hustles. She's like, you know, wandering all the improv and comedy scenes and like shooting movies. Like, and of course, it's just like a home movie that goes on for way too long. But, you know, she puts them out there. However, and she's been doing this her whole life. Although I feel like there's been a long break since her like streak of creativity where she was putting on a lot of stuff that was, it's funny to laugh at, you know. But if she's making it, you know, it's her vision. And she has overconfidence in it. You know, I don't want that. Where persistence is one part of the puzzle. But I hate that Mr. Beast had good advice, but it's just like improve one thing every video. And that gets me in my head too. And I also watched a video of, you know, Ludwig doing the quick to 1,000 subscribers to show that it's not all luck. And then someone made a video in response to that. That was like, I think kind of skewed the results because you like donated $50 to like plug this video to get to trick somebody to watching. And like that's what popped off, and like I don't know, it wasn't entirely skill based. But the point of that video too was like, you know, I tried to disprove him by like making a lower amount of quality videos, and then I blew up as well. But I feel like if it's by any means necessary, you stop doing what you want to do and you start trend hunting. And I feel like there's another avenue that is luck-based, that is like your creative energy. You can't, like, you have to trust your comedic instincts. Like, I feel like it's just completely different for comedy stuff in particular. Like, yeah, if I played the most popular video games, it would get floated at the top because I'd be like one of the prime people doing that. If I was reviewing movies, like day of, week of, and pumping out a review, yeah, it's like that pop culture aspect is like a cheat code to get numbers. I don't know if it's good numbers. And then there's like OC. Like, me just being me. I don't know. You know, the cheat code is to do more interesting things. but it's really hard to just tell yourself. Like, think about the stand-up path. I feel like is the most brutal, but it leads to the best results. Because it's like, I'm not going to do flashing lights. I'm not going to do playing Get Over It. I'm not going to do all these easy tricks. I'm not going to play Among Us and have a big clickable moment that gets a lot of children to watch my video. I'm going to try to get funnier and produce quality stuff. Like, very, very fan. Like, music, I think I put musicians on a pedestal because a lot of, like, amazing musicians that people fucking absolutely go apeshit for. It's like 2 to 3 minutes of their entire lifetimes. Is this something that, like, someone just falls in love with and really connects with? And I feel like that's the most distilled. Next level up from that is like the comedy hour special, where it's just like, it's just a guy talking into a microphone, maybe doing little act outs, but it is just one guy talking to you one-sidedly. And that's like more of what I want to go for. Or at least sketch videos, you know. You put a little bit of effort into more produced content. Or the movie, you know. You can't have a movie of you playing Minecraft for 8 hours. That's also so ephemeral. Like, nobody's going through and watching video 300 of Asmongold and going, that was a good episode. Well, maybe they'll pick out like very notable moments where he did something actually memorable, but no one's watching like part 72 of a 300 episode playthrough of something. Again, unless you had that like viral moment. And even then, that viral moment, maybe 10 to 15 seconds. So you just farmed so many hours into streaming for those little bits. And even that is kind of like, I see something viral, I laugh at it for like a week, and then I never want to see it again. Anyway, I don't know. I feel like I get into this every time I start streaming, comparing myself to others, trying to figure out goals and stuff. I think it's kind of healthy, in a way, as long as I don't get too in my head about it, make me too anxious. Just trying to get better. Just trying to get better and healthier. And this number, yeah, you know, whatever. Maybe I will take the weight off the screen. I feel like it's a good thin number, though, to keep me. Fart time. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you tomorrow. Have a good day. Right on.